So when did Dad die? Dad died in 2014, I think. Pretty, yeah, it is that. March the 18th at 1:33 on the 2014. So it's been over 3 years, and yeah, you just I don't often get a sense of his presence. Maybe you do all the time. Maybe it's just because it never leaves. But yeah, no apparitions, no seeing him in real life, no ghosts or any of that type of stuff. The only thing I guess would be um, um, which is I think almost 100% hit rate is that when I found myself like I've done it. It's happened 6 times now. I've sort of made a note of each different time. But when I've found myself in a situation where I didn't know what to do. Maybe I was looking for something, like something practical, like my keys, because I needed to leave the house to get an important train or a bus somewhere, and I didn't have the foggiest where my keys would be, and I really desperately needed to leave, and it felt as though I was just maybe, because I'm quite clumsy and forgetful, so maybe it felt like I'd you do get into, who knows what the mind's is doing to you, but it did feel like a little bit of self-sabotage, like I just previously had my keys, and then there was some sort of like blackout, and I placed them somewhere, and I just couldn't recall where that place was, and so I'd find myself in these situations looking for something, usually looking for something actually, yeah. In all of these examples, I've been looking for something, and I'd exhausted all my possible options. I didn't know what to do, and I'd just be like, "Oh, Dad." Actually, I'd just say help. I'd just say help. I'd just say help. Yeah, just help me. And then and within and the response was immediate. It was just, the answer was just there, and actually in one of the cases it was there, but it wasn't there. It was a bit different. I didn't actually ask for help. I was more looking for me bank card. I was looking for me bank card. I didn't know where it was, and I was getting suspicious that it might. I was looking. I looked so extensively, like in all my coat pockets, all my clothes that I might have worn, under the bed, and pulling out mattresses and stuff like that. It's clearly stuff I've not, that I wouldn't have done. Just literally just like scrutinizing the place with a fine tooth comb, and then yeah, I was just sort of yeah, and then I was just like, me last location at which I hadn't checked was me bin, behind me, like a plastic bag behind me door that I sort of just put rubbish in, and I was like, this, it completely didn't ring. It didn't chime with me as like a possible place where my bank card might be. Why the hell would my bank card be in the bin? And that that in itself is quite worrying. I don't know why I've done that, but if I did do it, or maybe it happened to get in there by some other way. But so I got the bin out, and it was horrible. It was just it because at that point I was drinking a lot of energy drinks, sort of surviving through the day on energy drinks, and and maybe cigarettes as well, and just a horrible combination. Just depletes the body of all its resources and nutrients, as you sort of use it as fuel to power your way through some tasks that you think will getting these tasks done will take you to your eventual goal. But it's literally just, it's digging a hole, really, especially if you're not looking after yourself physically and so on, and eating the right food and whatnot. But yeah, I looked through the bin. It was horrible, full of tissues and bits of food and like, not good stuff. It was a plastic bag as well, so it gets all sloppy at the end, doesn't it? It gets all sloppy, and I was just like, "This, what am I doing?" I felt really desperate, and then I was like, "This is stupid," and I got to the bottom of the bag, and there was no bank card to be it was nowhere in sight, and then I just heard a voice of my dad going like, "Go on, just carry on a little bit further, look a bit further," and I was like, "You what? Are you kidding me? You little sadist! I know this is, you know what I mean. What were you making me carry on looking for this filthy bag for?" And but anyway, what the hell? It was just I was already knee deep in crap. So, and like, I might as well just find out what else was there. And there was only one place left in the plastic bag, which was just it was just a bus ticket, which was obviously, it was sodden, it was soaking, and it was just stuck to the bottom of the plastic bag, and that was the only conceivable place that a bank card could be behind. And it was just one of those where you reach for it and you peel it back in the hope that it's miraculously there. And you know what I mean, even though the chances of it, because the bus ticket was covering the whole possible area that the bank card could be taken up, and then I just peeled it back slowly, and it was there, and it was all wet. It was wet, obviously, but it was there, and I was just like, what are you doing there? And then just another one of those, like the sixth incident or instance of receiving guidance, or what feels or what seems like guidance to me from my dad, when it could be guidance from myself, or it could be the act of me calling on help, triggers or enables a part of me which was previously, I don't know, in denial, or I was denying it, or was locked down. Who knows? All these the mechanisms that could be, and like the fact of it, I don't need to know. To be fair, all I need to to know is that it happened. You sort of recognize it, you register it, and so on. Log it, document it, and whatnot, and then just note the patterns. But those types of things can't really be proven, and they're not really worth that much time speculating or pondering over, are they? Because there's no answer to be given, and if there is, you're not going to be finding it out. It's going to need some sort of big team crew of brainy people to get to the bottom of that. So in the meantime, it's not worth the effort. But what I actually want to talk about, was that it? Oh right, no, it wasn't that. It was the fact that Dad, and just that I always get the only one thing that makes me, well, actually no, yeah, it's a couple of things, but this is the main thing. The only thing that makes me sort of upset, thinking about him, actually. Oh, I don't know if I can read it out. It's maybe a bit too soon for that. But it's just, I won't read it out, actually, but it's just his it's just his CV. His CV that he would have been handing out at the time, like when he was briefly, I mean, because he's not, he was like a self-educated guy. Didn't get a secondary education on the island where he was on the West Indies, because he just had no money and whatnot, and there was only one school, and so he came over here and stuff to work, and so he only ever knew work, then really no education. He knew that he recognised the value of education. That's probably why I brought me over here to sort of get some education and stuff, which is great. I need to do more more, recognize that more, I think, and do more to honor that. But I just is CV, and just like it's riddled with like, you know what I mean? It's riddled with typos, spelling errors, and mistakes, and but the what comes through is just I mean, the work ethic is just, for one, is just great, and it's just these very simple lines that he sort of uses to impress his hard working nature to potential employers, and it really gets to me and really cuts me up. And every time I read it, actually, so I won't read it out now. But you know what I mean. When your dad's gone and you have a copy of his CV, that, and you know that when you were a child, he would have been going around to employees, and back in the days when you didn't have work temping agencies or work agencies, you would have been going out to these businesses and handing them in this thing. And you know what I mean, it's just great. It's very short and thing, and it's just, I just love it. I love it, and it makes me double down in my efforts, and be grateful for having a dad like him. But yeah, that's about it, really, I think.